Hey everyone, Crystal here, the Queen of Philippine Wrestling. I have been given questions by MWF to answer for this Slambook thing. So, I guess here we go. But before that, please do follow me on my social media platforms. It's at I'm Vernice on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and at I'm Vernice with 3 E's on TikTok. But yeah, here we go. Questions. Being a champion, it means you've been entrusted with being the face of the company, you know? Me being nearly 3 years in on with my reign for the MWF WrestleCon champion, it is a lot of responsibility because, you know, even though I'm not technically in Malaysia, they still do ask me to help them out. In, I believe it was recent that they had like a women's boot camp thing. They did ask me to video about it, and it's a lot of responsibility because, you know, you're representing the promotion. In this case, also you're representing the country in wrestling, in the wrestling world, and it means you're the best of the best. I'm just gonna repeat what JDL said. Experience. Well, fine, he's been wrestling longer, but I have had a great ton of amazing teachers, and I've been trained by Sakura-san and Mazda-san from DDT. I've gone on the Japan trip. I went there for a tour. I've wrestled in China in PW. I've also been in, you know, the WWE tryout, which if he's not gonna shut up about it, I'm not gonna shut up about it because there was only 3 people selected for that, and I'm part of them. And I was also, I was supposed to be in the Mayan Classic, but sadly, visa stuff. But yeah, you know, not flexing, kind of flexing, but I mean experience and, you know, I would like to think they wouldn't underestimate me for this, but being the only woman inside that ring may be jarring for some other women. But to me, it's not going to be jarring at all. It's just going to be a challenge. Maybe a fun one. Because it has been a while since I've been challenged in this degree to this degree by people. Because, being, you know, sometimes sitting at the top can be quite lonely, but, you know, being able to face Fabio, Nigel, JDL again is going to be fun, and I think the audience will have fun as well. But really, should never underestimate a woman with a goal. Thing is, you guys, this is gonna sound so simple, very simple, and I'm not even gonna go out and party. I'm not gonna do any of that. Well, number one, I will probably polish up the belt because it kind of lacks shine for me. But other than that, what I would do to celebrate would be get myself a big old bowl of ramen. I don't eat a lot of carbs. I keep healthy and I do have a diet, but I think I deserve a big bowl of ramen after that lunch. Oh my gosh, that is actually a hard question because thing is, for the past few months now, for the past few episodes, as you guys seen on Gang, I have finished people with my submission, which is a crystallization, which is the octopus hold. I've also finished people with the Queen's guillotine, this, you know, split leg drop from the ropes. Depends where I am. If I feel like my opponent can finish on the first rope, then it's just for the first rope. And I have the axe kick. I can knock people over or out. You know, they can be out. So honestly, it really depends on the situation. If it calls for a knockout or a submission. I mean, a submission is more fun because, you know, making guys tap and, you know, just pulling their arm off of the sockets is kind of fun. I think that my match with Emi Sakura is still going to be number one in my heart because it's the first ever international women's match in the Philippines. And come on, guys, she's the legendary Emi Sakura, who is on AEW now and has established, a lot of promotions as well. She's had at least 2 decades of wrestling experience under her belt, and the feeling I got after that match, the audience giving us a standing ovation, the audience chanting "Thank you, Crystal," and it just warms my heart because, to think that when I started this whole journey being the first and only woman in Philippine wrestling, it was a struggle, but we got to a point that there's a lot more women out there wrestling. There's also opportunities for us to bring women in, just to showcase what women can really do. So it's really fun. So that's hands down the most proudest match of all of mine. Yeah. Thing is, I'm not about gatekeeping. I'm not about suplexing people. I'm not about kicking people hard. One of my main things is to bring more attention to Philippine wrestling, and I think Philippine wrestling deserves to be shown to the world, as you guys saw on my Netflix special. And it's actually really fun being to have this kind of attention, because at least I can show the world that there is Philippine wrestling. It does exist, because I have gotten a lot of messages about, I didn't know there was wrestling in the Philippines. Next time I visit, I'll come watch. And it's just fun to see that through the internet we can bring awareness to outsiders or wrestling fans all over the world that there is Filipino wrestling. And I think that the Filipino talent out there can make it. So I can make it. But yeah, one of the goals is to bring more people in to know about Filipino wrestling. And also, this is gonna sound so cheesy, but establish a solid women's wrestling here, a solid women's circle here for wrestlers in Philippines, because being the only woman for like a year or two, and then them slowly starting to wrestle and starting to train was pretty cool. It's just that I really do hope that women out there do have the courage and come train with us. I'll help you out in a way that in any way possible that I can. But I think that the Philippines needs a lot more women wrestlers. But yeah, they need women wrestlers, because women really do bring a different type of color in the mix. So yeah. Thing is, I wanted to face Riho. I technically have faced her twice, once in Singapore and once here in the Philippines, but I've never faced her like just us two. I really do want to face Riho again, because all the matches I've had with her were so much fun. They were so entertaining, and the audience loved it. So Riho, yeah, Riho. I mean, I also want to kind of battle Sasha Banks, because I always get compared to her because of the hair, and I think it would just be fun. I'm not gonna overthink this, but I'm just gonna quote Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. I know it's a common thing whenever I check the comment sections on her posts, on whatever, like, gusto ko maging pro wrestler, and then they would ask like, nagyayayaan sila ng kaibigan nila, and they try to try out together, or they're waiting for each other. Thing is, if you really want to do it, just go for it. If it's really your dream, just go for it. And I know that the hardest step in starting anything is the first one, the first step. Even just sending out that application, getting into that, car, bus, motorcycle, jeep, getting into that to go to training is going to be hard. But if you're not gonna push yourself, no one else will. I mean, yeah, your friends and your family can support you, but they're not the ones taking you to the training. They're not the ones, pushing you to get your training. So I think that's the only advice I can give, because that's what I did. My friends and I were just like, oh, should we go? Should we do it? Should we apply? And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna apply. I'm gonna send in my audition tape and I'm gonna apply. And that's exactly what I did. And now here we are, 8 years later. Well, technically, 8 years training, 6 years wrestling. But yeah, 8 years later, we're still wrestling. It might, honestly, I want to say JD. I mean, yeah, he's a stickler, but I think like his self-centeredness or selfishness is gonna get him killed off first. Or it might be Nigel, just because of how preppy and happy, what kind of happy boy he is. And honestly, if I was, there, I would use all the men to get myself, sacrifice all of them to get myself to safety and get out of that stick situation. If it's a marathon. Might be JD because he's so selfish. And then might be Nigel because he's probably gonna help out either or. Because he's too much of a happy boy for me. I mean, come on, realistically, world isn't all that great. So those are all the questions, sadly, and our time here is going to be up. But before that, please, I urge you guys to subscribe to Manila Wrestling Federation on Gank. The links will be in, MWF's page on Facebook. Also, if you guys can check out their Twitter and everything. But do watch and support everyone. All the wrestlers here are amazing, and we are truly trying to bring up the Philippine wrestling community. And yeah, subscribe to Gang, of course. Also follow us on, Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, so you guys can get more info on that. Tickets are available already, but Road to Fate is going to be awesome on September 11th. So get them tickets. I'll see you guys there. And if ever you see me there, you can ask for a photo. If ever.